Hello everyone, it's Stamp Ventures with Shauna, Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. Welcome to my Tuesday night tutorial. I'm going to be doing a 3D project with you tonight and showing you some things that I learned about these pretty pillow boxes. They're going to be coming out in the new fall holiday, or some people call it the July through December mini catalog. And I've found what works for me anyways, the easiest way of assembling these. These are not your regular pillow boxes. They open and close just a little bit differently, and I'll show you some of the things that I've found that makes it easier to put them together. So welcome to my video. I'm just getting synced up here with the iPad. Yeah, I think I found it. Hello everyone, welcome. I'm starting right out with my funny today here. They did not stay 6 feet apart. I thought that was so adorable. I'm sure there are a few little COVID babies out there, and boy, yeah, they'll be hearing all the stories from their parents and their aunties and uncles about this time that they came into the world. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm going to be showing you some things that I've learned about using these pillow box dies, pretty pillow box dies. And right off the hop, there's a tip for you right to get you started that you can use for any dies that you might happen to have. Look at this. I took with a pen and I traced around each piece basically before I started using the dies, so that when I take them off and I use them and I go to put them back, I know where they will fit on here, because sometimes I can't seem to fit things back onto the sheet the way they fit, you know, when they come in the shipping box, and then it's like, how did I have these pieces on here? I can't fit them all on. And B, I'll know if there's a piece missing. So yeah, there's like 4 of these little flowers, 2 smaller ones and 2 medium-sized ones. And if one has gone missing, I'll be able to tell because there's an empty spot there. So I thought that was such a handy little idea. And yeah, I'm going to try to do that with more of my dies. Now, I do have some dies that are on magnetic sheets, and so that doesn't work so very well unless maybe you've got like a white chalk marker or something to trace around it, but it sure works really well on just the paper, and it even allows you to trace over where the sticky spots are. Okay, so yeah, these little guys here, I'll show you. They're not very big, as you can see. They just fit basically into the palm of my hand, but I'll show you a couple things that you can put into them. So first of all, with this one that says hip hip hooray, I was able to fit, ooh, come out of there, ooh, it's in there really well, a little lip balm. So just the small size lip balms will fit into there. And one more suggestion of things that can fit into these pretty little pillow boxes. These are my favorite candies. I'm not like a really huge candy person. I'm a huge chocolate person, dark chocolate, but not so much a candy person. But I discovered these Werther's coffee flavored, Werther's original coffee flavored, and I love those. And well, I only brought 2 of them out here, but you can fit at least 3, maybe even more. Yeah, so great little boxes for candies and small things. And you have some options when you're making your pillow box. So there's this basic shape that cuts out the pillow box base. And in case you want to see how much paper that uses, here is a half a sheet of 8.5 by 11. So it doesn't quite use up the full half sheet. It uses like 2/3 of it, something like that. So it's definitely bigger than a quarter of a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So you need, yeah, more like 2/3 of a half a sheet. Or if you're using a 6x6 piece of designer paper, there we go. It fits onto that nicely, and you still have room to cut out some extra pieces. So what attracted me to this pillow box die, besides that you can just make these, super cute little pouches with it, is I liked how Stampin' Up! Created different, little parts that you could slip in and have different designs on this flap. So this flap here has 2 little holes that you can tie a ribbon through. And then there's this decorative piece that creates kind of that eyelet look. I did that with these 2 here. And then there's one more. I don't know if you can even see it. I'm probably off. It's probably off the camera down here. And it creates some little lift up curvy little flaps that can pop up. And then there's some really nice tags on this in this set too. So, and cute stitching. Cute stitching on this flap here, and then on some of the tags as well. So I just like that it was versatile and had some options with it. So I've got a couple pillow boxes that I've pre-cut just to save us time, and I'll show you the ways that I found the easiest to put them together. Oh, hello ladies. Thanks for hopping on. Ooh, I have this feeling that my iPad is not going to hold out. It might lose battery before I'm done. So if I don't end up responding to any of your questions or comments by the end of this, just know that it's probably because my iPad died. I think my phone is still good and ready to go. So thanks so much for joining me with this, ladies. Okay, so I watched a couple other videos, and basically a lot of the gals said that, you just basically have to match up this oval part with this oval part and squeeze it together with your fingers, and that's okay. But, the oval parts are meant to be, they're meant to be curved and really take on a very different kind of shape that's not flat and not all that easy to get your fingers into there and to hold it. So I made about 20 of these little boxes for an upcoming event, and I'm going to show you how I made the boxes that I found easiest to put together. Because like I said, you're not matching flat to flat. There's a whole interesting curve that's going on in there. And so I'll show you what I found that worked for me. Now, just before I start putting this together, I'm going to give it just a little bit. I'm not giving too much of a bend there, just a little bit of a pinch just to get it started. It's sometimes hard when you go to fold these in, the oval piece wants to buckle a little. So I just thought, okay, this will give it at least a good starting point. So I just went around and kind of got a helper start to it. You can see, I even made it buckle a little bit there. Okay. And for the 20 that I put together, I used liquid glue. And I should get my lid off ready to go, because once I get this box into place, I'll want to have my glue all set to go. Yeah, and I actually do. I hang my glue upside down with the lid off, because basically if I'm not squeezing it, only a tiny little bit comes out. You can see a little bit has come out in the bottom over the weeks and months that I've had this, but not very much. So the easiest way I found was to fold the flaps, the straight flaps, flat. And I started out with my box completely flat like that. And then I took and I popped it open and I held it in the palm of my hand so that I'm trying to get that natural curve going, because that's what these boxes are going to be, is with that natural curve. So you can kind of curve it out a little bit there. And I decided that I wanted the back flap to be pushed in first, because then when you've got the front flap going down second, you get a nice smooth edge on the front of the pillow box. You can see with this one, I did it the opposite way. I did the back flap last, so then you get that little bit of, you can see the overlap of the two flaps there. So just a tip. Okay, so, and what I want to make sure is I want to get right into these corners and push this down, because then the corner from the other oval has to come up over top of that. So that's kind of what I did, is I just went into the corners there and smoothed that out. And then I took some liquid glue, but not very much, because I don't want it to ooze out. Hello to those of you who are just hopping on. Hi, Karen and Emmy and Sue and Elaine. Okay, and you're going to see I'm not coating the whole thing. It's basically close to the edge that you really need, where it's important to get the hold. You can put some in the middle too, but okay. So now I'm turning the box in my hand, but I'm keeping it in that oval, that puffed out oval shape to it. And I'm just making sure these corners are tucked in with my bone folder, just like that. And then I'm going to take and push this oval down on top of it. Now it doesn't match up right away, and that's because I've probably pinched the box too much. I'm making it bow out or oval out too much, but that's okay, because I'm just going to get this top layer into place there. It's just like, it's so nice and smooth. Yay. And now I'm going to keep the box popped out a little bit into its oval shape, and I'm going to turn it around. And so here's the other end. If you want, you can take your bone folder and you can push it down into there and push that one flap, that inside flap, back against the one that we just glued down. And now I'm going to push the back flap through again. Oh, I can pop it out a little bit more, get that in there. Yeah, and the more that you oval out, pop out the pillow box, the more room you have for these corners to come down and get into place. And that's why I like the liquid glue, because it gives you a little bit of time for give and to get it into place. Then I'm going to put together this second pillow box, and I'm going to use my tear and tape. And tear and tape will work too, but you'll find once the tear and tape hits in place against the other piece of paper, it doesn't want to shift and move. It kind of sticks where it sticks. So I think that's why I would highly recommend the liquid glue for these. And then, okay, so I want to make sure these corners are down into their spots, and then I can just take and put this down like that. And again, you can see that it's not quite, there's a bit of a gap there, but then when I let go, well, I can kind of keep this flap from the front, but then I can push at both ends. And this is where the pillow box kind of falls into its shape that it's supposed to take. Its shape where it's not puffed out too much when I squeeze it. And I just hold that in place for a few minutes with my fingers. Now, yeah, you're holding it both ends, and that just gets it like allows the liquid glue to hold it right into its spot. I did find if you don't want to sit and hold it for too long, you can, if you've got elastic bands that are about the right size, you could put like an elastic band at either end, and that holds it as well. But it doesn't take too long for the liquid glue to set. The other thing you can do, this flap that's the little the flap for the pouch, it's kind of like a purse flap, you can take and just give it a little bit of a curve with your fingers while you're waiting for the glue to set. There we go. So another thing that you can do with this box that or with the insert, I should say, that has the two little holes in it. I was really stoked to figure out this idea. I saw it from another demonstrator and I can't remember who it was, but with this little insert, you can take and you can draw a couple spots in there. Whoops, my pen is not working so well. Let's see if I can get it going there. Okay, there we go. And then if you've got a hole punch, you can punch a couple more holes here. And what have I got for, ribbon. I grabbed some of the new ribbon from the July through December mini catalog. This is the glittered organdy ribbon. So it's actually got little pieces of glitter in it. And let's see, how long do I want this to be? I think 10 inches is too much. Probably about 8 inches. We'll go with that. I'm going to cut it at a good angle here and go inside the box. Feed it through one way and feed it through another way. And then you put your little things in there that you want to hold, like a chopstick or a whichever. Because chopstick does kind of have to go at an angle. And then, you can feed it through those holes at the very top. And it's a really nice and secure way of keeping the pillow box shut. So traditional pillow boxes didn't have like a flap here. Traditional pillow boxes, you just opened the end and got into it. So this is a little bit different with how the mechanics of this pillow box work. But I really like this option of tying it shut so that people don't have to tear it to get into it. But one of the people that I did watch their videos made a really good point. They said that, if they have to tear it to get into it, then that's telling them that you don't feel obligated to have to save the box forever and ever. So that's, I thought, was a good point too. Okay, so 8 inches maybe was a little bit short. 9 or 10 maybe would give you a bit more to work with. But there we go. Pillow box number 1 done. That's with the liquid glue, and that gets those curves really nicely into place. And I really like, that's probably my favorite little insert there, are those 2 holes to be able to put a ribbon. I think one of the gals that I saw do this also used a piece of Velcro here and then Velcroed her box shut. The only thing you have to watch with the Velcro is that sometimes you have to bend or really bend the paper to get the Velcro pulling apart, because the Velcro is usually really, really strong. If you have the tiny little magnets, you could do a magnetic closure. Somebody suggested, they said a glue dot, and just shut it with a glue dot. You might actually need a couple of glue dots, because this piece really does want to pop up. And here's another thing that I found that worked well. I tied some twine around the box a couple times and tied it as tight as I could. And then I used this tag, cut the tag and get that piece back in its spot. Cut the tag and glued it just above the top flap there, and then you can just tuck this into the string if your fingers work for you. Oh boy, there we go. Yeah, tuck it like that. And that's another way of doing it without having to rip the whole box apart. So I kind of like that idea. It's a gold medal bow. Oh, thank you, Elaine. Yes, you know, I turned the TV off just before I started this video, and I'm like, oh, like our TV with the Olympics is on is so much during the day, and I'm like, how on earth am I ever going to get anything done? Well, I guess it has to be things where I can watch TV and, you know, craft or whatever at the same time, because I'm just like, it's so exciting watching it all and seeing how they're doing. And anyways, anybody else out there, an Olympic fan, hit the heart or give a thumbs up. Let me know if the Olympics have captured your attention as well. Okay, a couple more closures here I'll show, and then I'll show you another way you could use the tear and tape to adhere the edges of your box. Oh, I see a few thumbs up coming up, that there are a few Olympic fans out there. Oh yeah, I was pleased with the string closure. That seemed to work pretty well. I think it worked better once I had this bigger tag on it. I don't know if it would work so well. Well, the string would cover up the fancy little designs on some of them. But this one too, double string, but I threaded this string through one of the little cutouts there, and then just tied it in a kind of a sideways bow. Went around a couple times, and that's how I got that one to stay shut. Tie that back up, maybe. Oh, this one's only going to be the silver bow today, or the silver bow this time. Yeah, you saw how it was. And then this one, it's a bow, but behind it's also a knot. But the thing is, it just slides. So that's kind of cool. I did it in a knot because then my bow wouldn't go sideways. My bow would go, up and down in relation to how the box is. So being able to just slide something on and off works really well too. I think that's a good option for this. So, okay, last one. I'll show you another way to glue shut these, glue these edges shut. Because, we're not working with the flat, regular pieces of paper. It's kind of one of these things where, you have to be ready to hold your tongue. And if everything was just flatten it with the bone folder, that would be super easy, wouldn't it? Too easy, I guess. Okay, so just get these started so that, oh, that one really, there we go. This, it is easier to work with the designer paper. As you can see, it's folding a lot easier. But that also means that it gets creases and crumples in it easier too. And not quite got the weight, but it is cute. The designer paper with the design on it is pretty cute. So yeah, they're both nice options. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. So back to, start it flat. Okay. Flat, flat, flat. And then pop it open. Create that little bit of a dip in there and close the back one first. Oh, there we go. Oh, I forgot. I was going to use a different kind of adhesive, so that means I have to put the adhesive on it. I'm using the tear and tape and not say my Seal Plus, because when I do the part where I put it together flat, the Seal Plus would stick right away, where with the Tear and Tape, it's got this paper cover on it, so that's going to help to prevent it from sticking right away. It will not stick until I tell it to. Okay. I could probably just tuck these corners over when I peel the paper off, but I'll just trim them. I've got my scissors right here. So number 2 way of adhering this. And again, it's like you don't have to get in there. Like I said, a lot of people said, oh, well, you just fold this and then you fold that and then you get in there with your fingers. And I felt like I was all thumbs. And so this is just start it flat, pop it open, fold from the back. And then with the Tear and Tape, you want to just take that little piece off like that. And I want to make sure those corners are tucked in. Tuck in, little corners, tuck, tuck. And if you pop it a little bit open more, that helps those corners to tuck. And then fold the front piece down. And again, when you first fold it, it might not make contact with the back piece, but then as you release the pillow box and don't squeeze it as much, then the second piece comes up to meet it. Oh man, I think I'm starting to get the hang of these now. Look at that. That one worked really well and it got into place so close. Okay. Number 2, okay, start with the back. Pop it in. Okay, and then we want to take off this cover of the Tear and Tape. And if you find this video helpful, what would be really super for me is if you share the video, as I know a lot of people out there are going to want to get the pillow boxes because they are really super cute. They're shown with the gingerbread and peppermint suite at the very beginning of the catalog, but I know some of them are going to struggle with putting it together. So the video, yeah, we need to get the video out there so they can see a way that helps them to put it together without going crazy and tearing their hair out. Okay, so there we go. Now you can see, because it's not as strong as the cardstock, the DSP wants to buckle a little bit, but you just go in and pop that back out. And this one you can see I used these this design along the edge. Those little pieces can pop out a bit, and I don't know how I want to close this one. Maybe I could just use a couple of glue dots in there, and this would be one that they tear and throw away. Just trying to think. Emmy, I should check and see. I don't know, Emmy, if you're still watching, but I should check. My other friend does make boxes. I should check to see if I can fit a piece of your caramel in there, because I think I still have one. I never even thought of that. Hang on, Emmy, since you were there watching, and you are the queen of caramel. I'm going to grab one of your caramels. Just a moment. Emmy has a business right here in Moose Jaw, and she makes her grandma's caramel recipe, and it is so good. Really, really good. These are caramels that she made for my mom and dad's 60th anniversary, and look at, she has a friend who does custom stickers for them, and I've been saving this in the fridge for a day when I need a treat. So I'm going to see if I can fit this caramel in the box. Yay! It fits just. Whew. Okay, and then I think with this one I would just close it shut, maybe with some twine, because yeah, it's gonna need to hold that down. Now it'll want to keep popping up, so I'll use some twine for that. I wonder, maybe I'll try the twine around this way and see if I can get it to tuck like I did, but without the extra piece of of the label. This will be an experiment. Okay. And so I'm just going to tie, a bow would be nice, but I think I can tie it tighter if I do it as a knot. Yes, that caramel fits in there just perfectly, doesn't it? So lots of little yummy goodies are good for that. Okay. Oh boy, my thumbs are, well, they must be ready for bed because they're not working very good for me today, or my fingers, I should say. Okay, I'm trying to pull this tight. Tight, tight, tight. Tight. Okay, and get the caramel in the center a little bit. Okay, and tuck. Okay, the only thing is then it covers up the little, doing it this way, the string covers up those little pieces that that pop out a little bit. That's an option anyways. I might think some more on that about how I might want to close this one. I'm sure there are a few other ways to, oh yeah, the caramels are just amazing. Karen, maybe sometime we'll have to have a caramel tasting stamping event so you can try them because they are absolutely awesome. They're so good. Okay, let's see if I can get this one. Oh boy. I think I tried this one before and it didn't go so well for me. But yeah, so there are just a couple of ways that the pillow boxes can be put together. And like I said, starting out with it flat and then curving it into its natural shape and gluing it in its natural shape worked a lot better for me than take this flap and glue it onto this flap, because sometimes it goes into an unnatural shape and doesn't really work out all that well. So a caramel tasting with stamping. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's, yeah, that would be fun. So yeah, if you have any questions about the boxes or about Stampin' Up! Or, the Canadian Olympic team, no, I don't know that very much about it. Give me a shout. I'd love to help you out. As I mentioned, I'm here in Canada and love to have lots of fun with paper crafts and stamps and little treat packaging and cards. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining me this evening. And if you don't have one of these Stampin' Up! July through December mini catalogs, let me know and I can get you one. It says July, but it's actually starting on August 3rd, and there will be a celebration event to go with it. So lots of exciting things happening. If you don't have one, let me know, and I can get you one if you're here in Canada. Thanks again, everyone, for joining me this evening. Have a great week. Stay cool because it's been warm out there. Bye for now.